going to call the December 1st, 2025 St. Clair Shores City Council meeting to order. Abby, please call the roll.
Mayor Walby,
Here.
Councilmember Burgess. Here. Councilmember Karen.
Here.
Councilmember Frederick.
Present.
Councilmember Rubello.
Here.
Councilmember Rusi. Here. And Councilmember Vitale.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Spider hanging on that same cobweb's been there for about 5 months.
Item 2 is presentations. We have an A and a B this evening. We'll start with the A, which is the St. Clair Shores Goodfellows newspaper fundraiser. Mike Cook, I know he has a number of Goodfellows here, so come on up. I think it's just maybe just gentlemen today, but it's Mike Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Appreciate the opportunity to talk before the meeting here tonight. As you mentioned, I'm Mike Cook. I'm the president of the Goodfellows organization. We have Frank Davinsky, Steve Scavone, Chuck Hall, and Tom Youngblood, who all are members of the Goodfellows that donate of their time to help our organization, as well as many members of the council. So the St. Clair Shores Goodfellows, we've been active in the city of St. Clair Shores for 99 years. This is 99. Next year is going to be 100 years. So we're very excited and proud that we've been able to serve the residents of the city for that long. And the motto of the Goodfellows is no kitty without a Christmas. Our goal is to ensure that all the children of St. Clair Shores and all the needy families are taken care of during the holidays. So how we do that, we have 2 fundraisers. The main fundraiser that we have is a paper sale. And typically, we've used the Macomb Daily as the paper that we've used. This year, with the help of Mr. Rubello, and we have it printed already, we've used the St. Clair Shores Sentinel.
Excellent.
So
Nice.
We're using the St. Clair Shores paper. We have them printed already. And this coming Saturday, December 6th, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., we're going to be selling papers on most of the major intersections throughout the city of St. Clair Shores. We're going to be working out of St. Lucy's Church, and anyone that wants to help sell papers, all you have to do is show up at St. Lucy's between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. If you can help for 20 minutes, if you can help for 2 hours, wonderful. All you have to do is dress for the weather, whatever that may be on Saturday. Mother Nature hasn't told me yet. Hopefully it'll be pleasant. But dress for the weather. You show up at St. Lucy's. We give you everything that you need to sell papers. We'll have food and donuts and things in the morning. In the afternoon, the firefighters are generous enough that they make chili for us. So we'll have a hot meal for everybody when they're done. And we sell our papers. Secondly, we have a secondary fundraiser that you'll see in a lot of businesses in the city of St. Clair Shores. We have a medallion sale. It's the cards that you see in many stores and bars and things throughout the year. You can take one of them, you can make a donation to an organization, and then they'll put your name up on the wall with your donation card. So if you see that in local restaurants, bars, retail outlets, it's another way to donate. We're working on, and I think we're going to have it. We're getting with the times. Hopefully by Saturday, we have a QR code
Nice.
that people can scan.
That's big.
Steve's been working very hard on that with the powers to be to get it straightened out. So hopefully that will be up and running by Saturday. Every donation helps, whether it's, people putting the change out of their ashtrays, and we many times have people say, without the Goodfellows, I wouldn't have had a Christmas when I was young. So, they'll give a nice donation, but every donation counts. Along with that, at this time of the year, almost every school in the city of St. Clair Shores is collecting non-perishable food. So the second way that we help is we collect food, and on Christmas Eve, we deliver food baskets to those needy families in the city. Along with the food that we collect, we go out and purchase turkeys. We purchase turkeys and stuffing and cranberries and everything that the families need for their Christmas dinner. Now, how do we know about the families? We have a helpline. That helpline, I'm going to read it so I don't screw up the phone number, is 586-980-0400. And families in need, all they have to do is call that number. They will make an appointment. They will come in and we will interview them. The phone line is going to be open up until December 13th, and then we're going to have appointments to interview those families on December 15th. And what we do is, for children under the age of 16, we give gift cards to those families so that they can go out and purchase Christmas presents for their children. The money that we bring in is the money that we give out. The more generous the donations are that we get, the more that we're able to give out to the families. Over the last several years, the citizens of St. Clair Shores have been extremely generous, and it's allowed us to go one step further. And what we've done is we've set up a scholarship fund. And we've set up a scholarship for 2 seniors from each of the 3 St. Clair Shores high schools, from South Lake, Lakeview, and Lake Shore. So for the last 3 years, actually, we've given 2 graduating seniors from each of those schools a Goodfellow scholarship towards their college. And we couldn't do that without the generosity of the citizens of St. Clair Shores. So want to thank council members. Many council members come out and help us sell. Many administrative staff from the schools and firemen and people of our community come out and help. So want to encourage everyone to come out and help. If people want to help deliver food on Christmas Eve, we always need help. And I guarantee you, once you deliver food on Christmas Eve, you will do it the next year. We deliver the food at 9 a.m. on Christmas Eve out of St. Lucy's. And the paper sale we're working out of St. Lucy's as well. So I want to thank St. Lucy's as well for their contribution to help us. We used to use the fire station, but as we all know, right now it doesn't exist. It's coming along very well, but St. Lucy's has stepped up and over the last couple of years has allowed us to work there. So once again, our helpline number is 586-980-0400. For any families that are in need and need help, please call that number. Please pass that along. And it is strictly for families in the city of St. Clair Shores. If you're driving down Gratiot and Roseville is selling papers, a lot of times people hold up their papers. Oh, I already bought one. Thanks, but that didn't help us out a one bit, because the money we collect in St. Clair Shores stays to St. Clair Shores residents. The money that's collected in Roseville or Mount Clemens or whatever stays in their individual cities. Thank you.
Mike, thank you, and thank the Goodfellows, not just for this year for what you do, which is making sure that a kitty doesn't have not a Christmas, and for 99 years of being dedicated to this community and doing that. So God bless you for all the work you do, including everybody else who jumps in, because you got a great organization, but you need people to get out there. So there's a lot of great people in the community that help out.
Thank you.
Mike, thanks a lot. Gentlemen, thank you. Yeah, we have a B too, which is bringing back the trolley. We got Virginia and Todd from Trader Todd's. We had a successful trolley in the summertime here, and you're bringing it back, right, for the winter?
We
For the
are.
Christmas time.
We are. Thank you so much, Mayor and council members. I'm here to talk to you about bringing the joy to the Holly Jolly Trolley on the Nautical Mile. We are so appreciative of the mayor's support and the Tifa Board for funding generously this program, which comes at a time when the restaurants on the Nautical Mile can really use an extra boost as we enter the slower season and when we're still facing some issues with construction. The Holly Jolly Trolley is going to run December 3rd, 6th, 13th, and 20th, sorry. So that's all 3 Saturdays in December before Christmas. We will be running from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. We will stop at all the restaurants that will be open, including going into the marinas, and also at Blossom Heath. The program is entirely free. People are welcome to hop on and hop off, go to more than one establishment, enjoy the lights along the way. We have a lot of surprises. I hear a big jolly guy in a red suit might be joining us a couple of nights. We'll have holiday trivia and karaoke, which is our version of karaoke for the holidays. So we hope you'll join us on the trolley. Grab dinner, grab some drinks, head out with friends, enjoy the lights. The trolley makes it easy for everyone to enjoy and explore the Nautical Mile. I hope you'll come out and support. I'll be personally hosting the trolley the first 2 Saturdays of the season, and then Adrian Reitz of Bucket List Experience will be doing the 3rd night of the season. So we're going to do our best to make it enjoyable for all. Thank you so much for the
Right.
time. nauticalmile.org for more information, and we have a live tracker so you can follow the
Nice.
trolley.
That's cool. So
At
give
any
us the
time.
dates again and the time again,
So,
Virginia.
December 6th through the 20th, December 6th, 13th, and 20th.
Those are Saturdays.
Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing it. Change here, item 5 is, which is the request to approve a budget amendment to Bryce Walking Park. That is off, that will be brought back at either the next council meeting or the first one in January. And with that, we'll go to item 3, which is audience participation. They have 2 minutes. Abby, do we have anyone? Okay. So item 4, request for approval of the revised fee schedule. Denise Pike, CDI Director. Good evening.
Mayor, Council, good evening. Before I go into all of the numbers, because I know you have a lot, I would like to remind us of the timeline that brought us to tonight. So if you remember our first conversation about the permit fee or proposed permit fee increases was August of 2024. After that, there was a subcommittee that was established, which included Councilman Vitale, Councilwoman Burgess, and the Assistant City Manager, who'll be here shortly. And I want to thank them for their time and expertise in really putting together this proposed fee schedule. I have slides which documents all of the fees, if I can make it advance. Maybe Rob, do you know how to make it advance? But if it, if we don't need to go slide by slide, thank you. You, at the direction of council, as much or as little information as you need. Perfect. So if you follow along on the fee resolution, these go in order. What we have is a compilation of boards, committees, and commissions and their fees, and then actual permit fees. The first one, no, back, thank you. The first one is the Water Resources Advisory Board, and if you all know that this is when anyone is doing work on the waterway, they would need to apply to the Water Resources Board. Currently, that fee is $100. We are proposing that it go to $300. And the reason for that being is that there is significant work that goes into putting those packets together, and there are notices and there are public hearing notices that have to go out. So, next, and feel free, again, I can answer questions during the presentation or after, whichever works best. So section 8-48, this is kind of a overall in the building section of the ordinances, which is work without a permit. Right now, most of the work without a permit is $30. It is not a disincentive for people to get a permit before they actually start. What the committee is suggesting is that work without a permit across the board be fee doubled. Next one, thanks.
Rob was
All
trying
right.
to slip away.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can make this work then. I'll do this. So this is site plan review fees. This is really planning commission. This one that we have gotten a lot of conversation about of late when we've had some pretty boisterous hearings about plan developments in our community. So right now, the majority of the fees are between $300 and $500, which is a nominal amount of time. Most of the work here is done by the city planner, but we do have to, in certain cases, do public notices or, and always have to do mailings. So what we are proposing is that for a two-family residential, which we do have a few of those, that goes or stays at $300, no increase there. But for a multiple-family residential, before or currently, it was a math equation, right? How many units do you have? We're looking to simplify and simply make it $1,000. Same for a one-family cluster, which is probably not something we'll see in St. Clair Shores unless there were a big tract of land. But we're looking to make that and the subdivision, again, $1,000 across the board. For commercial and industrial, again, a math equation currently, we want to make it $1,000. So again, looking really to simplify these, which I think will help developers so that they don't have to figure this all out. Like, what am I doing? It's just, I'm a commercial or industrial, it's $1,000. Special land use request, we are asking for $1,500 as the fee. Rezoning requests the same. Again, these are requests that both need public notices and they have public hearings attached to them. So they have substantially more work. And then for a commercial wall, we're looking to go to $300 to review that. Next one. This one, I'm going to ask the fire chief to join me because he's got a lot more expertise on this than I do. But we are looking at fire alarm systems. Again, this has been a topic of conversation at council of late. So the first set of fee increase or proposed fee increases has to do with a fire alarm. This is something that's part of an electrical permit. It includes the fire marshal and the electrical inspector. And we are looking for the master house panel to be $100 and any sub-panels to be an additional $25 per. For the notification device, so that would be a
The horns or the lights that strobe would be a notification device.
So if there's one, it would be $30. Each additional device would be 10 per. The initiating device,
Those are the smoke detectors, the heat detectors, and the actual pull stations would each be considered an initiating device.
so we're looking to take that from $25 for the first one and $5 each additional one. The vendor delay fee, this is really when there are fire inspections, the two inspectors go jointly in most cases. And if they're scheduled at 8:30 in the morning and the fire marshal and the electrical inspector or the fire marshal and the mechanical inspector are there, but the fire contractor is not ready, that is time that is essentially wasted, our time that is wasted. So we are looking to have a vendor delay fee of $75. And then a fire system reinspection fee. This would be if it just completely fails and they have to come out again. I am told by the fire marshal, apologize for my voice, that doesn't happen very often. When it does, it's usually one or two things can be corrected. He goes back, it's all done in a day. So that is not a fee that we really think we will be utilizing very often, but it is a tool in our toolbox we would like to have. Next one. Sprinkler systems. This one is pretty self-explanatory. The number of heads dictates the number or dictates the fee. If you get to over 300 heads, and how many places do we have with 300 heads?
Not many, like Amazon Fresh, maybe, big stores like that would be the ones that would have that many sprinklers.
So then it's $1 per head is what we are asking for. Again, the vendor delay fee, this is the plumbing inspector and the fire marshal goes together. Generally, they're set up at 8:30 in the morning. They take about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get done, depending on the number of heads. So if the contractor's not ready, it is difficult on our schedules. And then again, the fire system reinspection. We don't intend, or we don't anticipate, not intend, we don't anticipate we will use that fire system reinspection fee often, but a tool in our toolbox. Kitchen hood suppression, $300. This is not only in restaurants as you would expect, but in other locations like Assumption Creek, right? They would have to do the kitchen hood suppression. These, and really importantly, under this section 8-92, these are life safety issues, right? They are not somebody put up a fence and their neighbor doesn't like it. This is, if your system doesn't work, this could be potentially life-threatening. Vendor delay fee, and then fire system reinspection. Here, we also are asking for work without a permit, the fee to be doubled. Again, this is life safety, we want to make sure it's done right, we want to make sure the inspections are done. Fees outside of CDI that are fire system fees. This would be the annual inspection, and we talked about this during the business license where the fire marshal goes out, he does his annual inspection, he gives you a list, right? He goes back in a couple of weeks, the list, you've got 3 of 5 things done on the list. Then for the remaining 2, we would charge you $50 a piece. What we would do is give you ample time in the first inspection to correct all of the things on your list. And if they don't, and I think Chief Piper and both the fire marshal talked about, often, it's 1, 2, 3 times they go back and the same things are not corrected. Right now, we have no leverage with the businesses to get those done. Would you agree?
Yeah, usually, probably around the 4th time out, we're able to then refer them to the city attorney's office. But then it still has more delays and more time and lots of times gets worked out in the background. And so it's not much incentive sometimes for things to get done, taken care of in a timely manner. We're hoping that this will make that happen, or at least recoup some of our costs by having to go back out a 3rd or even 4th time.
Next one. Moving over to driveways. So right now on driveways, this is on the private property side. We do actually look at where driveways are placed under the ordinance. We do look at forms and we do a final inspection on driveways to make sure that they are constructed where they're supposed to be constructed. Right now, our current fee is $35. Doesn't cover most of the cost of even issuing the permit. So we're proposing that fee to be $100. Fence permits. Right now, it's $25 across the board. We are asking for a residential fence if it's ordinance compliant. So if it's built, they're proposing to make it to construct it the way the ordinance allows, $100. It does include a post-inspection, so we go out and we measure the depths of the holes, and then we go back out to make sure that the poles are constructed and that the fence panels are put up. We do measure the 3 inches from the ground, which is what the ordinance now allows. We measure total height, we measure the height of the panels. So it's a good value for $100. If it's not zoning review, or if it's not compliant with the ordinance, then a zoning review would be attached to that, and the zoning review would be an additional $30 is what we're proposing. And a commercial where a wall is not required, so this would be multifamily. They are not necessarily required to put in a wall. So the review for that would be $150 and the inspection. That would be the permit. Again, work without a permit, fee doubled. We get a lot of those for fences. Sign permits. This one is, we are proposing an increase, but largely we're proposing an increased bond. And the reason for that is because we want to have the resources to go out and correct things that aren't correct, or to remove things that weren't removed. So right now for a sign permit, it's $165, but you get $100 of that back. We're proposing that there's a processing fee that's on all the permit applications of $50, all the sign permit applications. The sign permit itself would be $75. And that would be for a replacement sign. The reason for that is a replacement sign, we've already done the review. We know it matches what the ordinance requires. If it's a new sign, and this is per sign, often businesses have more than one sign, so it wouldn't be just $75. If they have 2 signs, it would be $75 per sign. For a new sign, it would be $150 per sign, because again, we need to be looking at, is it ordinance compliant? The bond would be $500 instead of $100. You would get that back when you're done with the job and the permit is actually approved. And then work without permit would be doubled. Can you go to the second one? On this one, the A-frame sign, we're not actually proposing any increase. It's $50 now, we're saying $50 later. The temporary sign, again, no increase in the fee. What we are asking for an increase in is the bond. So if you put up a temporary sign and you're supposed to have it down in 30 days, and in 30 days you decide you don't take it down or you just never take it down, then we have the resources to go take it down for you. The garage sale sign is $5. What we are proposing is a sign arbitration board. It goes from $25 to $100. And the reason for this is, and you'll see this when we get to the Zoning Board of Appeals, everybody is entitled to due process. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to, if the ordinance doesn't work, and if people are getting variances, then we should be changing the ordinance and not just encouraging people to go for additional variances. So that is why we're proposing an increase. We don't want to make it so onerous that people wouldn't go to the sign arbitration board, but we don't want to make it so like that's just kind of a rite of passage. There are some pens up. Should I answer questions now?
Mr. Vitale?
I only wanted to clarify garage sale sign, garage sale permit.
Garage sale permit, thank you.
Yeah, so since, your presentation doesn't exactly match what came here, but as we're going through it, I just want people to know that's garage sale permit,
You're right,
not $5 per sign.
right.
Ms. Rusi?
That was actually my same point. We're not discussing the garage sale signs. It's a permit. Even if you put no signs up, you still need to obtain a permit that allows the city to
Correct.
count the
Yes.
up to three a year go on the property, so we don't start going into more commercial zoning issues.
Yes.
And plus with Reed versus Gilbert, we can't do content specific, which
Right.
seeing if it's a garage sale sign versus something else would entail reading the sign. So even the
You're right.
Supreme Court says we can't do that. So we probably want to bat that out as a sign ordinance issue and look into doing something else with that, just given that's not a sign-based fee, it's a fee for the event.
The event itself?
Yep.
Okay. Understood.
Mr. Ribello?
Thank you, Mayor. Denise, just backing up a little bit,
Yeah?
people who might be watching here or watching at home, why are we doing this? It's really the first thing that people would ask.
Sure.
Why are we doing this? And these numbers and these prices that we're looking at right now, how do they compare to other cities around us?
So we are reviewing these fees because they have not been reviewed in many, many years. And what we are trying to accomplish is we are trying to, as close as possible, and I will let council know that this is not going to be a one-for-one, but we are trying to recover some of the cost of providing the service to the public. So it is only that costs go up, right, every year, and we would like to reduce our strain, and our being CDI and then the work, our strain on the general fund by being able to, and we are one of the departments that is able to actually recoup the cost of actually providing the service. We can't make a profit. The public needs to know. This isn't a money grab. We're not making a profit.
That's what I'm trying to make,
right?
that's what I'm doing.
City's not going to get rich on CDI. But we are trying to be closer to recouping the actual cost of providing the service, and we haven't done that for a very long time. So that's why it seems that, this is a lot, and it is a lot, I understand. But we have not asked council to increase these fees. And then ultimately, what we would like to do, and starting even with potentially next budget year, is to be looking at these fees every budget year, so that we're not waiting 10 or 15 and sometimes even 20 years to review these costs. We're really making sure that we're in line. How does it relate to other communities?
Yeah.
We are competitive. We have looked at all of the surrounding communities. We are not outpricing St. Clair Shores in any way, shape, or form. What we are doing, again, is just we are recouping the cost of service. We're not competing with other communities, but we are still very competitive in the permit fee arena.
Okay, so we're still very competitive
We are.
with this, because,
Yes.
these are these types of things that we get phone calls on,
Mm-hmm.
and
Sure.
I don't, maybe, I have other questions, but maybe I should wait till after this is over.
We're close to the end.
Mr. Vitale, but she's close to
Okay.
you, but I was trying to get through it and then we'll come back. You
Great. All right.
want to say something, Mr. Vitale?
All I was going to say is that.
Thank you.
And this can go forward too, is that a lot of these fees haven't been looked at, like Denise said, in
Decades.
10 to 20 years. So that's why some of them are dramatically up. The other reason, and then the ones that really raise the most dramatically, are the ones that require the publication and the mailings. Because how many times has the price of a stamp jumped? How much have newspaper rates gone up in the last 10 to 20 years? So that is just basically so we're not taking a loss every time we have to publish or notify. So just want to clear that up. Believe me, there was much debate held on this.
All right. Move on, please. Bob?
So concrete, this is in the right-of-way. So that's the distinction, not private property, in the right-of-way. Sidewalk permit, we're not looking to raise that at all. The residential approach, however, as so long as it's ordinance compliant, and what that means is that the ordinance has a very specific width of a driveway. So if the approach meets the ordinance width of the driveway, it would be $75. Commercial approaches removed and replaced as is, so this is no change, they're just taking it out, they're putting it back, $75. The commercial approach, that's either a new approach or that is asking to be widened, expanded, that would be $175, largely because that's gonna need an engineering and a zoning review. So those reviews are built into what we're proposing. Again, the driveway residential, that's repeated, and then the street repair permit. So when someone has a sump pump that they need to connect to a catch basin, it is currently the resident's responsibility or the contractor's responsibility to replace the street. We are asking, I apologize. We are asking for the street repair permit to be equal to, and in your packet, I gave you the cost actually of what we charge, or we are charged by Galooey for a square of concrete for the street. And I'm probably not going to find it really fast. So Galooey's price is $66 per square yard. That means that it costs us to replace one section of street, $1,023. The $1,000 permit would be what we would charge. That's not the total cost. I know I'm floundering a little bit here, but that's just the permit fee. But it isn't any more than we pay for doing the street ourselves. Work without permit, fee doubled. Next one.
Next one. There we go.
So this is the last one on the list, Zoning Board of Appeals. The Zoning Board of Appeals application fee is currently $300. For the Zoning Board of Appeals, we need a notice within 300 feet. So we do a lot of mailing on the Zoning Board of Appeals. We put the notice in the newspaper. We have a staff member at the meeting. We have the city attorney at the meeting, and we have myself at the meeting, or Liz if I'm not there. So the cost of the ZBA meeting to the city is pretty high. What we're asking for is that for a residential property, the cost be increased to $500, but for a commercial or a multifamily, commercial industrial multifamily condo complex, it'd be up to $1,000 for the Zoning Board of Appeals application. And those would be non-refundable. So just want to make sure that people are aware. So I'm just going to grab a drink of water.
What happens when it's tabled?
They don't pay to come back.
That's what I thought, okay.
That
Questions?
was a good question.
Ms. Rusi?
Thank you. I guess just a few points. This is a lot of information to digest. I would maybe recommend next time, at least this would be my preference, we talk about these type of things. It would be nice to break it out by agenda, by topic, and then we could discuss, we could vote on each one rather than do fire, concrete, zoning board of appeals. You know, we can do a agenda item for the zoning ordinance
Okay.
related fees, the fire-related fees, the concrete, you know what I mean? Something like that, because right now it's really hard to.
It is a lot of
keep things,
information.
Yeah, especially, yeah, it's a lot of information to digest, to discuss, to vote on,
Right.
going fee by fees, with so many broad categories of fees. So that would be my recommendation or preference, at least for the next time.
Okay.
To make things a little bit easier, because I think as we get into the discussion now, we'll each have our own little points, and we'll be going back and forth from all those different categories, and then ask for one big omnibus vote on everything. It's kind of hard when somebody might have a contention about one, but not the others. So.
Thank you for that input.
So I guess starting with the special land use, I'm not going to go item by item, but there are a couple broad points I wanted to bring up. I guess going with the special land use requests and rezoning applications, I mean, especially regarding the special land use request, that's a big increase. And I would say why we're doing this type of increase, we also should be looking, given that special land use requirement is a function of our zoning ordinances, perhaps revise, you look at our zoning ordinances, review them and see if there's anything that maybe nowadays we don't need to be a special land use and can just put into the zoning ordinance apart
Permitted
from
by
being a
right.
special land use, because
Okay.
there might be some things, they get approved all the time regularly that we have right now because maybe it made sense in the 80s when the ordinance
Sure.
was drafted. Maybe nowadays it's not as big of a deal and we can discuss it, part of a regular site plan without having to be a special land use.
Okay,
Especially given the price increase would be now for a $1,500 fee, given it is a creature of our ordinances. So maybe we can be reviewing what we require special land use for and see if we could pare that down and move things just into the regular zoning ordinance if it made sense. I don't know, but I think that would be more justifiable. Same thing like you said with the sign ordinance. If people are going to arbitration for a certain reason a lot and it's granted frequently, perhaps that's something that we should just revise our ordinances for to prevent them from having to pursue the variance for it if it made sense to update ordinances that way. So I would recommend we look at that too. I brought up the garage sale thing. That really bugged me seeing that in here. I know that's a bunch of our current ordinances, but we might want to back down, make a special garage sale permit ordinance versus having it buried within our sign ordinance, given it's not a function of the
okay.
erection of the sign, it's having the events. And I think, it's not them paying to put a sign up, it's them paying for permission to have the event so we can monitor how many events are happening at a certain location to make sure that they don't start inching toward turning something residential into commercial by having sales at their house every single week, which if we didn't have the permit requirement and enforcement thereof, that might happen, which I don't think the neighbors would be too happy with that. About the idea of having the work without a permit being, the fee is, it's double because it was done without permit, and that's functioning, as you said, more of a disincentive penalty type thing, given fees have to be tied to the cost of us doing reasonably related under the bull case, the cost of us providing the thing. I would still keep the fee the same, but have a separate penalty clause that institutes the penalty as being double.
May I counter that, just offering that if someone is doing work without permits, then the process within the department is significantly different.
Is it double? I mean, is it?
So
We just have
what
to be
we
careful
do,
with both. Yeah, we just have to be
No.
careful with both, that we aren't turning a fee into a penalty and vice versa.
Absolutely.
By saying this is a fee that's doubled to be a disincentive and a punishment.
but then it does require code enforcement to get involved to write the
Oh,
notice of violation and then the final notice of violation.
Oh,
And if we still
absolutely.
don't
I'm
have a
not
permit.
denying it's a lot more work,
So
and I'm not
it is.
denying the rationale behind it. I'm just bringing up the fact that we're still calling
Sure.
it a fee when it's operating as a penalty.
Okay,
So
And
it would just, I'm sorry to interrupt, I think what Councilman Rusi is saying is the premise is okay, it's just the way we structure the premise. It
Okay.
cannot be listed as a permit fee, it is listed as a penalty, the penalty for
Penalty.
Dawn, I
Yeah.
think,
Okay.
which is in our penalty clause.
Yeah, it's a
Got it.
penalty clause for, in the
Different section.
ordinances versus
Thank you.
including as a fee. I know,
Okay.
I don't deny it's more work, I don't deny the justification, I don't deny the, rationale behind it to encourage people to get the permits timely before the work,
right.
but I just don't like it being called a fee when we remain, it's operating as a penalty and a disincentive. Their fee is very specific under Michigan law, especially like the bulk case.
Okay.
So we have to be careful of how we discuss and treat these things. Just like going to Dave's point, as he was bringing up during the discussion, we're not making money off of this, these fees. This is to reimburse the city for the costs of providing the
Providing the
service.
service.
So it's the same type of
Okay.
thing where we just have to be careful how we discuss these things, because once you start talking about it being a disincentive and a penalty, then it gets away from the fee into a fine, which is still fine. The fine is fine, but not to call it a fee.
Okay,
That was a pun. Bob
Got it.
laughed. Kip laughed.
I did, I got it. I
Somebody
smiled.
laughed. Somebody
I
laughed.
smiled.
Well, it's a council meeting. You can only make so many jokes that land.
True.
But it landed with a few people. And in terms of then the computation of the work that goes into these, I really don't like it when we start discussing planning commission meetings, again, down to the city attorney attendance, city planner attendance, clerical board member stipends, and posting draft minutes, given this is all a function of we only have the Plan Commission, we only have the ZBA to be the local authority pursuant to the Zoning Enabling Act, which is a statute that says we have to have these things to do these functions. When I apply for a zoning variance or a site plan approval, we're putting into the computation here, same planner at mean average 2 hours. I mean, well, that's not 2 hours for that specific application. The only reason why we have this board that we're paying stipends to and having these type of attendance at that we're paying for, which we have to, is because of state law. So I think even without putting these things in, it would still be mean the fee, but I just don't like putting the board mean, city attorney attendance at the Plan Commission mean average 2 hours, $150 an hour, 300. Well, let's lump that into the justification for one person's planning commission application. That's stupid. I mean, I'm sorry, that, we'd be having a lot of these meetings anyway for various reasons, right? They look at ordinance changes, they look at the community block grant development funding things, they do the HUD audit type. So, I mean, we're having a lot of these meetings anyway. We have to have these meetings. We have this by pursuant to a state statute. And then we're going to say, well, you're applying for a site plan for your, commercial building, but we're going to put in 2 hour average of the city attorney's attendance, which we could have 5 applications that mean, and we're saying for the computation of every single one of those 5 applications, $300 times 5, because the city attorney is going to be that's
Okay.
sure that's like quintuple dipping at that point in that computation. So in terms of doing the computation of how we arrive at these fees, I'd be very careful about how we're putting in big chunks of city attorney time for a single application, because it's not 2 hours at the meeting for a single application. It's not the city planner at the Plan Commission meeting, average 2 hours at $53 an hour. It's not for a single application. Clerical, they kind of have to be there anyway. Board member stipend, same thing. And then posting draft minutes to the website, we're putting $14 in. Well, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that goes on at these meetings, not just that single application. Sure. And that's a function in the Open Meetings Act that they have to be posted to the website, or at least available to the public after a certain amount of time. So I don't think we should be including that in the computation, these fees, just because. But I mean, in terms of the advertisement, the notice, absolutely, that's cost we should be recouping, and that should be including the fee and the time to review the applications and so on and so forth, the inspections. But I don't think we need to get into listing the Plan Commission meeting, city attorney saying there for an average of 2 hours, which I've been to Plan Commission meetings. Not all of them are 2 hours.
No.
Let alone that one application, most of them aren't. So it's just, that seems like a very arbitrary and weird thing to throw into the computation to justify a fee under bold for a single application.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rubello.
Thank you, Mayor. So a couple of questions sit here. I wanted to have you go back to the street or alley vacation requests,
Yes.
and it's $1,500.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to know what the sort of the reasoning was for the $1,500.
So again, that is something that requires a public notice. So we need to make sure that we are following all of the statutory requirements for actually vacating that property.
Because I guess one of the concerns is, if people have complaints against, what the city ruled on, that they have a viable source to go, fight it or come to the meeting or go to a meeting or any of the meetings that we have, and not be afraid of the sticker shock of some of this stuff. But I understand we have to cover our prices, but on the other hand, you sort of think, are you scaring people away from their due process or whatever of being able to argue?
An alley vacation is typically something that the city undertakes itself. So an alley vacation would be atypical, but it does require that it is published. So we have someone who does want to vacate an alley, for example. We have to go through the notice period that goes to Planning Commission, it comes to City Council. It is a lengthy process to go through.
Yeah, don't get I guess I sort of worded it wrong. Don't get stuck just on that one. I'm talking about, any type of any type of request they might have to come and appeal something.
Sure, no, I understand that, but I think that the other side of that coin, I'm sorry, I'm talking with my hands, is
It's okay, I
that
understand.
if, you of all people should
I
understand.
do, I understand.
If the ordinance doesn't work, then the process should be change of the ordinance, not give people a variance all the time, right? The hope would be that the zoning board of appeals never has to meet because everybody feels like the ordinance makes sense. And that the city of St. Clair Shores has ordinances that create the community or the community aesthetic that the city council, that the city leaders want. So the hope would be that the zoning board of appeals doesn't have to hear any cases because everybody's following the ordinance.
Yeah.
That is not realistic. We do need to provide relief for some people if it is a practical difficulty, if it is a hardship. Those are the two criteria under the statute that are supposed to be met. But just to have someone say, well, it's okay, right? I don't have to do that, I'll just go to the zoning board of appeals. That is also not the right way that we should be approaching the ordinance creation, in my opinion.
One of the other things on here was the permits for the A-frame signs.
Yes,
Okay, and I was wondering why that price didn't sort of go up a little bit. It's held at $50 it was?
yeah, it was held at $50. The subcommittee felt that that was a fee that was, that fee was, give me the word that I'm looking for.
Adequate?
Adequate, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
These are some of the things, now, we're obviously, we haven't touched on all of the permits and things.
We have not. The next round would be the building, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing permits.
Okay, because one of the things on here, it's something that I've experienced a few times for the police, and that is people walking by people's stores, yanking on their door and setting off their alarms. What do we do in those types of situations?
I would have to defer that to Chief Allen. I don't know.
Okay, we can do that one later.
Okay.
Not here.
Correct. I don't need a permit for that, okay?
For what?
Just people say this a lot. I don't need
Oh.
a permit for that. It's one of the famous lines.
Yeah.
Or I didn't think I needed a permit.
I didn't, better. I didn't think I needed a permit for
Sure.
that. So then what happens?
It would be considered work without a permit.
Yeah.
Ignorance is not.
Architects,
Yes.
when these things are going on, when are architects required?
When you have a commercial building, when you have a commercial establishment or an industrial. Residential doesn't need an architect unless it's over a certain square footage. The code requires that if it is over a square footage, and I think it's 3,500, is that
3,500.
correct?
And that's in all cases, right?
Yes, in all cases, a commercial building would need an architect or a design professional that has a stamp.
Okay, because that's one of these things with, when does a license, need a permit? And you probably get that a lot. I just want to make sure that they have a place to go. And we have portals, right, on our websites for
We
these
do.
folks to look at
Sure.
this type of information. Obviously, we're doing this for, everyone's like safety and, this is a big part of what we're doing here.
Yes.
As long as we're not, as you said, making a cash grab and we're just covering our costs, I think that that's okay. There's always going to be the, exceptions to the rules and so forth. Okay, that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vitale.
Yeah, I want to try to address some of what was said. A number of Ms. Rissy's points, I think, sounded a lot like probably what you heard me say at the subcommittee meeting where there were fees that were being charged for administration. And I said, well, that's why we pay taxes, is to have administration do these things. However, there were a number of concerns that you made me aware of, which is that sometimes staff will do the work and they'll never go any further than that. So that's why some of these will be non-refundable, because we have done some of the work already. If they don't follow through on it, they don't get charged the balance, but we do have time invested in it. In the issue of, including staff time for attorneys and things like that, I didn't agree with that either. I said these people are on retainer, they have to come to these meetings anyways. But that being said, I'm looking here at like ZBA, we kept residential is going up, but even at $500, it's still, honestly, at $500, a money loser. We're going to lose money still at that. But the reason we tried to keep that residential fee low is because typically those are, and I can give an example myself, I think it's very typical of what residents would go through. I had a garage built. My contractor made a change to put in a course of block, which then raised the height of the roof 8 inches. Unfortunately, he did not revise the order for the trusses, so he should have lessened the pitch. I ended up 8 inches too high because of that truss order. It was built that way. The inspector came out, took issue with it. I had to go to ZBA. That was at that time $300. This time it's $500. I can be there and hash it out with my contractor and say, look, buddy, I'm in the hole because you didn't make the change that you should have made. You're going to either split this with me or somebody's eating this or something like that. But we tried to keep that number modest. When we get into the realm of commercial and multifamily and condos, there's an assumption that now you are dealing with licensed professionals. And it isn't just Joe the contractor that calls up and orders trusses. This involves plans. There's a lot more to this. There is a lot higher degree of responsibility, and it involves typically a lot more people. So in the case of my new garage constructions, basically I had 3 neighbors that could see it. I went around and said, you have an issue with this, but if we're talking about a multifamily apartment building or something like that, now you're bringing in many people that are going to be impacted by that. So that was justification for raising that to 1,000, and the same thing with commercial. Trying to think of some of the other things that were brought up.
If I could just add to that point, the other thing with when a design professional or an architect is involved in a project, it is their responsibility to know, one, what the codes are and what the ordinances are. So ignorance is not something that they should ever be saying, because that means they haven't really done their job.
Yeah. So I guess that is basically, for example, I'll say another one here is that the alley vacation that was brought up,
Yes.
which is a rare event.
It
But
is
we did,
rare.
but one of the recent ones I can think of was with docks,
Yes.
taking some of that alley to add parking. The assumption is that, first of all, boy, I can tell you, we had a ton of time on that. If it was just the city attorney's cost alone would be dwarfed in how much negotiation was involved in that to try to work out something that was manageable for the property owner that was impacted. And there was an issue with that was not disclosed legally during the sale. There was all kinds of work that went on the city end. So actually, $1,500 is a money loser, but there's a presumption that that additional land to the business is worth far more than $1,500, because it allows them to get their C of O and allows them to operate and allows them to park, and probably impacts their insurance costs and all kinds of things like that. So at the end of the day, $1,500 is actually not that big of a deal in that type of situation. I don't think there's ever a case where, we just don't need an alley anymore and we give it over to a resident. We're not going to charge them $1,500, which is most of the alley vacations that we do.
Correct.
Just like I said, I'm just trying to think, we tried to keep anything that was residential as low as we could, and generally still losing money on it. Some of the items that were more commercial, we kind of look at that as, this is somebody who's here to make money. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we the city shouldn't be taking the loss on that one. They're there to make money. So we shouldn't have, the taxpayer shouldn't be subsidizing that. So that was the justification for a lot of these increases. And of course, the mailing costs and
Sure.
advertising that we mentioned earlier. And we are trying to break this up kind of as modestly as we can. It is a lot.
It is.
There's no doubt about it. There's a lot, but I mean, we got a pretty good heads up on this one, I think. And we're gonna tackle plumbing, electrical, and everything separately. So it's not as omnibus as it could have been. So,
Mr. Frederick.
Thanks, Mayor. So just two things on the sidewalk permits for residential. Is that, when Galooey comes by or whoever gets the contract, when they come by, is that included in what they do? I mean, we're not having anybody pull individual permits if somebody takes their sidewalk
No,
out.
if we're doing it as part of the sidewalk program, then no, they don't pull a permit to do that.
All right, so there's no fee included in
No.
that would go on there, okay. And then the second thing was, back to what Candace was saying about the attorney showing up and CDI and
Yep.
all of that at a zoning board meeting. I even think that the advertisement in the paper would fall under that as well. So if you're leaving some of that out, because we have to advertise in the paper if we're having a meeting and what's going to be happening at the meeting, we'd have to do that anyway, right? So.
Well, but that is a significant cost, depending on.
I know.
the
I'm just
number of
saying,
cases.
I'm just saying, so we're not caught up in, all of that legal stuff with both, so.
Okay.
That's all I had. Everything else has already been mentioned, so, pretty much.
Mr. Vitale.
Just was
motion
gonna
would be in order?
Oh, well, I'll make one point here and then a motion.
Okay.
And that was just that, to Ron's point, that's one reason we didn't touch the sidewalk fees. That we want to give the residents the option. If they want to do the concrete, we're not in the sidewalk making money business. We're going to just keep that one the same. Even we'll probably lose a little on that one, but we didn't want to we weren't near that. So I would make a motion to approve the fee revisions so that they can take effect by January 1st, 2026, which is another reason we brought it tonight.
With
Mr.
that,
Vitale, supported by Ms. Burgess. Yes.
with that motion, can you also amend that to include that the fees for the work without permit becomes a penalty and is in the penalty clause rather than the fee clause?
To move the fee
Yep.
penalties
she'll take
into the
that. You agree,
fees.
you agree with that as the
I
maker?
agree with the motion.
And questions? Ms. Rusi.
I still just haven't, my issue with the administrative thing was that the work that's done prior to, it's the inclusion in the computation of, for each site plan approval, we're saying it's $300 for the city attorney to attend a planning commission meeting for 2 hours, when we know each approval isn't 2 hours, and then if we have 5 a meeting, then we're charging 5 people $300 an hour, basically, for a meeting. Same with the city planner, same with clerical, same with board member stipends. It just doesn't make sense to include the actual at-meeting costs, not the work done before the meeting, but the actual work at the meeting, given, just including this in the computation, given they could be dealing with 5 applications, and each one we're saying is $300 for the city attorney, is $106 for the city planner, $85 for clerical, board member stipends, $135, that's for each member. Let's say there's 5 applications, we're charging each application that amount, we're not prorating it over the 5 applications, we're saying, oh, it's charging this application, it just doesn't make any sense to include this, how it's included in this computation, to say this is how much it costs to facilitate a site plan approval, given the at-meeting costs.
So what you're looking at is the at-meeting cost. What isn't included in that is the pre-meeting work that is done.
No, and I see that, I'm looking at the sheet, I see that's
Sure.
up here, and I get that.
Sure, so,
No, I just don't agree with the computation to include the at-meeting costs broken down like this. It just seems like we're charging the same amount of time for people to a lot of different applicants. That's fine. That's just my contention with some of the worksheets that we
Okay.
received to justify the fees.
thank you.
Mr. Rebello?
Is there a way to reword that
it's not part of the motion.
worksheet.
It's
It's a
just
worksheet.
It's
the
a worksheet.
worksheet.
It's a
worksheet, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's-
not what the public will ever see on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
6-1, it passed.
Thank you, council.
Yes, thank you. Item 5 will come back as I already mentioned. Item 6, bid contracts purchase orders. A is request to approve the purchase of one Ford Explorer Police Interceptor. Sergeant Campbell, how are you this evening?
Doing well. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here tonight requesting the approval to purchase one Ford Explorer Police Interceptor from Gorno Ford. State bid pricing on this vehicle is $46,810. Payment for this Explorer is going to be split with $31,200 coming from insurance funds and the remaining $15,610 coming from the fiscal year budget for Scout cars. This vehicle is available for immediate delivery. It's going to be replacing Scout 6.4. And then I do want to note, there's an error on my purchase order. I was fast forwarding on a date and not to move time any quicker, but it was corrected, so the 2025 date will be coming over tomorrow.
Questions? Mr. Ribello?
Okay, if I'm reading this correct, is this what you were talking about? There was four, you had it written as 425. Was it 435 the last time we did this?
Be looking at.
You're on 6C, this is 6A.
Okay.
No. You're,
Mine's out of order. Okay.
yeah, we're on 6A, the police car, not the fuel.
Okay, I scratched that. That one's for Brian Babcock when he
Okay.
comes up.
Ms. Rusi?
Hey, I just wanted to thank you for the clean packet information. I would move to approve.
Support.
Moved by Ms. Rusi, supported by Mr. Frederick. Mr. Karen?
Yeah, Sergeant, looking at the patrol fleet list, just a question on the in-service date. Especially for this Charger, is a 2023 in-service date, May of 25. There's also another 2023 Charger, looks like in-service date was March of 25. Was there, like, do we have a delivery issue with those vehicles? Why was like a couple years later?
Which two are you looking at?
So I'm looking at 64.
Yep.
Right? 2023 model year, but it has an in-service date of May 2025 this year.
Yes, those were the ones that I happened to come across, and we drove out to Lansing to pick up.
Oh, okay.
They were in stock. They weren't anything that we had
Oh, but
ordered.
they were older model years, but just still had to be in stock.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Did you have a question, Mr. Vitale? I didn't.
No.
Okay.
No question.
Moved by Ms. Rusi, supported by Mr. Frederick. All in favor?
Aye.
All
Dave's-
opposed?
Dave's pen's up.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so-
kept my,
oh.
this was buried in,
I'm sorry.
at the end. It's okay. The only thing I want to say is this, the M deals. Who checks these like later on to see if we actually are getting like a good price on these? I know it's, it's a group thing and all that, and I'm just wondering, is it the best price?
Gorno is the only one that's listed right now on the state bid list for these vehicles. I do check frequently. I reach out to a couple contacts we have in Lansing, just to confirm. And I was trying to actually track down some Chargers, even out of state, without any luck. So I do keep an eye on the pricing, and I do attempt to
Okay, that's what I was
reach out to
wondering, because we
contacts.
get these and we don't know if, it actually is the best price, if things fluctuate.
Which they do, because you'll notice that this vehicle is actually a little bit cheaper than the two that we had just ordered, and it's got a different engine in it.
And the M deal, M ideal, Mish deal,
Yep,
do they charge the annual fees?
they do.
Do we
For
get
the
an
city
annual?
the city to be a partner in this.
Okay,
yes.
so they're annual fees that we
Yes,
pay. Okay,
yes, there is.
thank you.
Moved by Ms. Rusi, supported by Mr. Frederick. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. 6B is request for approval of the extension of the execution of the Michigan Drug Court Grant Program to continue operating the 40th District Court. Good evening, ladies. How are you?
Good, how are you, Council Mayor?
Very good.
Good evening. We are here requesting that we execute and continue with the Michigan Drug Court Program Grant. This is our 10th year that we've received this grant to operate the 40 District Court Problem-Solving Court run by Judge Frederick Conjole. With the grant, what we do is Ms. Keelan and I identify clientele that are high risk, high needs, that are in need of additional support, who have been unable to maintain sobriety or achieve sobriety. Most of the time, we are seeing them when they are at their lowest points, and if you've come to a graduation, you can see, after spending upwards to 2 years with these individuals, you can see the transformation. And this program, I can speak for myself, I can probably speak for Corey, Judge Conjole runs a fantastic program, and she and I are just grateful to be part of it.
Yep, highly successful. You do a great job.
Thank you.
Questions? Mr. Karen?
Thank you. Yeah, no question, just, Councilman Frederick and I were both at the last graduation. We had 5 individuals graduating out of the program, and not only for their journey, but also the support network they need. As it's going through, like, whether it's different family members or friends, they're all coming out to be supportive, and it's also other people are in the program as well, still going through, coming in, supporting each other as well. So I think that's very impressive to see, but it's also how much of the court staff time, prosecutor staff time, defense attorney staff time goes in as a part of this program. And I know that takes a lot of personal dedication on everyone involved. So just want to thank you for being a part of that, all the members of the staff over there, Judge Frederick Conjole, for running this program. It is really impressive, what you've been able to do with this grant funding for all these years.
Mr. Frederick?
Yeah, just want to add to that, the program is so successful that it has become a template for other courts.
Correct.
And that alone is huge flattery for you guys, and you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Support.
Moved by Mr. Karen, supported by Mr. Frederick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
7-0. Thank you. 6C is request to extend the Mitten Purchasing competitive contracts for unleaded and diesel fuel. Mr. Babcock, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The first item that we have tonight is it's a bid consortium. We come together with 20 other communities around Metro Detroit, and we put out a joint bid to purchase unleaded and diesel fuel. There's 20 member communities. This was last bid out in, I believe it was 2 years ago. And in the contract, it was a 2-year contract with an option to extend an additional 2 years. So we have definitely been satisfied with their service, and we're asking for approval of that 2-year contract extension.
Questions? Ms. Rusi?
Thank you. So just wanted to clarify. So the bid specs included an option to extend back in 2023 for 2 additional years through mutual consent under the same terms and conditions. So back in 2023, when this company was awarded by Sterling Heights as the lead agency for the consortium, Sterling Heights received the bid for the 2-year, the option upon mutual consent to extend. And when they awarded the contract, that was part of the award, correct?
Yes,
So
correct.
this is just us pursuant to them exercising the option to extend. That was bid out and awarded via the bid process, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mr. Rebello?
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to clarify these numbers here. The motor pool is at 425 and the golf is at 20?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that would add up. Is it the same? I got 435 here. Okay, from the February 1st, 2024. This is what I was going to ask you. I guess it would be on page 8 of 13, up at the top right.
Yeah, so each year we look at our budget for fuel, and it goes up or down based on, the cost of fuel and how much we're purchasing. So I believe that was a previous budget amount that we had.
Okay, so, and now it's what?
445.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know, just out of your experience, do you lose autonomy when you do these types of things? When you have a bid that's being done as a consortium.
Well,
with
the
other
thought
cities.
behind going with the big number of communities is to get the better price. You know, that's, and we do get a good price for.
We do.
Oh, yeah.
As I just asked Heather, the last agenda, you follow up on this
Oh, yeah.
stuff and make sure that we're getting it. Okay, thank you.
Move to approve.
Support.
Moved by Mr. Frederick, supported by Mr. Karen to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 7-0, thank you. Mr. Babcock is on 6D2, is to approve the DPW pickup truck purchase, MI deal purchasing contract.
So I guess this is similar to what the police department was just here discussing. This is actually for the streets department at Public Works. This is to replace 4 of our pickup trucks, which are used, to plow snow this time of year. They also transport our employees, in our forestry department, doing potholes. These are the trucks that pull the pothole machines. So we are requesting to replace 4 trucks using the state of Michigan My Deal program. And we will move the older trucks to the Parks Department for their use. And then there's even older vehicles than that the Parks Department's looking to auction off.
Questions? Mr. Frederick?
Thanks. Brian, is that the three that are regular cab, are they replacing regular cabs? And the one that's crew cab, is that replacing a crew cab?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Move to approve.
Support. Moved by Mr. Frederick, supported by Mr. Bello. Mr. Vitale?
Yeah, just one. You've got the vehicles that are getting transferred to Parks and Rec, and then Parks and Rec is getting rid of 4 vehicles too. From what I see that's going to Parks and Rec, some of these are 2016, so we're talking about a 10-year-old vehicle. They look to not be rusty, which is good. We've been using the coating and everything like that, and that we're seeing that we're not getting rusted out trucks. I guess I'm curious, the ones that we are going to auction, what do those look like? Because I guess I'd just like to know.
But not good. I mean, they've been used for a long time. Actually,
Could you
we're
send-
looking to.
Can you send us that?
2002 Silverado?
Picture and email
Yeah,
that to us?
obviously 2002 well predates anything when we were doing the oil coating and everything like that. I guess I just like to know when we finally do get to end of life, if this is one of the vehicles that we've been treating.
Okay.
How are they holding up?
I wouldn't think so. And more so, we're more regular on that treatment, the rust treatment on our bigger trucks, all the dump trucks, plow trucks.
More expensive trucks?
Yeah. It's fantastic on those trucks. And in fact, just before going out over the weekend plowing, those things were dripping with that. You're not dripping, but they're covered in that fluid, to
Hey,
protect
even
them.
if it is dripping, it's environmentally friendly.
Yes.
It's lamb's wool oil or something like that, so.
Yeah, it's working out really well.
Wow.
Ms. Rusi?
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you also for the, just like I said, for Sergeant Heather for the clean and complete packet information. I appreciate all the details about not only the vehicles we're replacing, but the ones we're getting, as well as the motor pool printouts. Just one quick typo on the PO under vendor name. It says TOOD instead of Todd. So just a quick correction that needs to be made.
Okay, thank you.
Moved by Mr. Frederick, supported by Mr. Rebello. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? 7-0. Thank you. Mr. Babcock, have a good evening.
That Silverado could be in the car clears.
Item 7 is a consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Support.
Mr. Karen, supported by Mr. Frederick. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Mr. Lent, updates and follow-ups from prior council meetings.
Yeah, we only have 2 this time. Mr. Rebello requested more of an update on the lead water line mailing notices that were sent out. Currently, there are 12 homes with known lead service lines, and the letter is requesting access to the homes to replace the service lines at no cost to the property owner. The city also has good records for the majority of the homes in our city that show the homes that do not have lead service lines. However, there are 630 homes spread out around the city with unknown records. We do not believe these homes have lead, but we need to inspect the service line pipes at the water meter to confirm. Sometimes we're able to confirm the materials by having the resident email a picture of the plumbing. If the picture is unclear, then we have to inspect the pipe in person. This is a requirement from the Michigan Eagle, and the purpose is to request those that have verified the letters call the water department at 586-447-3305 so that we can work with the residents to confirm drinking water service line pipe does not contain lead. Please see the 3 attached documents with information in your packet.
Thanks for the very thorough report. That's awesome.
And then Mr. Karen noted a traffic issue related to 9 Mile and Jefferson construction. He asked that the exit at Blossom Heath be reviewed and suggested making it a permanent right turn only exit during this phase of construction. Community Development and the Inspection Department, along with the Police Department, has discussed this issue. They have requested Rickman to install right turn only signage on the westbound Blossom Heath Boulevard at Jefferson.
And then Dustin and Denise, can you make sure that the Halls Nursery door flew open, which looks again dangerous? Could you make sure we get this closed, and then at the end, I push them to get this building down? It's not safe, and we keep having problems here, and it's something that got to be fixed. I also got a couple of pictures. I know we've had a lot of, can you bring up some of those pictures? Do you have them? We had a lot of capital stuff happens. I just throw a quick update. I know we see stuff on, I think, Facebook about police and fire buildings, but just a couple of things that we have done. You know, we started this, I think, Mr. Kieran, was it 10-1 that we started that, or 10-3, something like this? But we had all kinds of issues here with boats and not a long enough ramp. I know that's not a big picture, but the fact is that we got this open pretty quickly, 30, 40 days, and we fixed over here this Blossom Heath ramp, so that was all good. We tied it together with the sewer over at DPW, so that was an excellent job, well done. Public library, I don't know if that has been popped on, but there's a lot of work there. It looks, my gosh, it looks different, empty.
Oh my gosh,
So,
completely.
they are working, and so hopefully we see something here. We'll say before maybe Memorial Day to, maybe even a little sooner, but work being done there, and we are all excited for this renovation as we are for police and fire. Kite Monroe, this is a pickleball course, right? We got the great donation by the Shorewood Kiwanis, which was $100,000, and we're working feverishly to get this in and be available in the springtime. So we have paved it here. We have getting the netting or the fencing up, and the netting will be coming. And again, as you know, this will be 6 pure pickleball courts, 1 pure tennis court, and then another tennis pickleball combo in there. So excited for that as we continue to enhance Kite Monroe over there, which not only has baseball, soccer, and now pickleball, tennis as it had before. It has horseshoes, of course, and the skate park, the Tissio Skate Park. So a lot there.
New playground on the way, too.
New playground that's coming shortly here, either the next meeting or the first one in January. So a lot of good stuff at Kite Monroe. Yes, sir. Veterans Memorial, the North Walk and the band shell, right? This was all rutted out and blacktop that had worn away maybe a decade before. We got in here in the fall and took care of this and made this just much more appealing for the walkers, for our use during events. So another nice project that was completed and got done quickly here in the fall. We also had some broken concrete there on the dance floor. So that was all part of the program there with when we did that north entrance there. So improved the park significantly. Activities helped out here. This was, again, part of that whole project when they were out there. You know, those, again, are the grills over there. That was really mud. There was no area between the Maloof Pavilion and the grilling, so activities thought to help out and add in there and kind of make it, instead of just concrete, to go along a little bit with the brick and the Maloof Pavilion and made that. So now we have the pavilion and the grills. And use that quite a bit. Either the groups use it. I know, my gosh, the Optimists and Joe Wilgot's there. Always, he's been there for decades. Of course, we have other events here that, when we have the special adaptive program, learning program, we have that there, and et cetera. So it's just nice. Again, taking care of some of the splash pad border drainage. I think if you know when you're over in that area, it's flooded. It's tough. And by the way, I think hopefully down the road here, we do something with the splash pad. It's something that was put in I think, 2001, and needs work, but we're trying to at least improve that area there when we did all that work. And then here's the golf course parking lot that we did at the end of the season. Ripped it out, put I think they had 3 new drains put in there, put all the curbs back in and the sidewalk in. I would say we ran about 4 days short. So what you see here is 2.5 inches. That is the initial layer. So that's 2.5. An inch and a half is left. That's the final capping. It was decided the cold weather had set in. We did not want to take that risk, so it's obviously painted there and be able to be used, but still an inch and a half left. We expect sometime maybe mid-April, early May. It'll be probably 3 or 4 more days left to do this.
Did the same thing at the Prize parking lot as well.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, again, it'll be springtime, but usable now if the weather things, and then, of course, it'll be usable in the spring. And again, I think they estimated, I said 4 days, 3 or 4 days, hopefully it ends up in 3 days. So, very much an improvement there. And I don't know if we had anything else. The golf paths, the cart paths were completed. They are done. And I would tell you, having the parking lot shut down, which did shut the golf course down, I think really helped. We didn't have people driving out there on the course when it was just newly laid. Before we had to have that done because it was open. But with the parking lot and that be shut down, we were able to not have anyone drive on that for a good couple of weeks here. And I think that's a real positive. So the entire course there now is new when the cart passed, so it looks great. That whole area looks good, so I thank the council for great improvement over there. Of course, the cart pass is a program that the golf course will pay back, over 6 years, so they're going to be paying back to get that done. The parking lot is just part of our parking lot improvements that we have done here, and Bryce, and Kite Monroe, and Civic, by the way, and also now at the golf course. And do we have anything else? And the Civic one, which is of course on the what side of the building is that, Dustin? Right.
West side.
West side of the building. So that was asphalt deteriorated. The road there was deteriorated, and so the west side we put in. We got a great bid for concrete versus asphalt. So the body took the concrete, turned out excellent there. So we have that all done. An enormous project over the last couple of years. We have this. A couple of years ago, we did the whole difference with the senior center. That's cement. Granted, there is a big job left there to do, but as I think actually, as Candace Miller said, how you eat an elephant is a little chunky piece at a time, and that's what we've done here. We've taken care of the west side here. We've taken care of where the senior center is and redid all of that. So we just have I guess the north side of the parking lot would be left. So great improvement there. And so that's a lot of work that this community did in the fall, all really needed, but I think we should be proud of that. We have to keep our community up, keep our assets up, and that's what we're doing. And I just wanted to highlight that. Very successful run by whether it was Denise or Brian or Rob to assist and get these programs and these projects completed. And again, all of them completed except for the golf course parking lot, which is probably 90% done, just one more capping. So great job by them, and I thank everybody here for making and improving St. Clair Shores. It makes the area and the community better. So sorry for the long one, but I thought that was important to show and try to show the people because that doesn't always get highlighted. With that, we will go to comments by individual council members, and we'll start with Mr. Rubello.
'Tis the season, boy. All those projects you just mentioned, Mayor, it's funny how that all just adds up like that, It just goes week to week, month to month. So, I mean, hats off. The city of St. Clair Shores is, things are happening here on all angles, and it's great to be part of it.
Not to cut you off, but I think you make a good point. I think we do some good budgeting here, and we've been conservative what we do, and we continue to work and make our assets and improve them, and I think that's our job. And
you don't even realize how much stuff is done until you just put something like that up, and it all adds up. Holly Jolly Trolley, okay, it's great to see Virginia and Todd Hyatt here. Virginia and Todd, great to see you. Virginia, and Todd too. You're really, you're really working it down there on the nautical mile, and it shows, and thank you. Okay, you care, and that's it's great to see. Keep it up. I wanted to make an announcement, still looking for snow brigade volunteers to shovel snow. I have enough homes to do. The program is only as valuable as the volunteers that come to help. And we've got quite a few lined up, so I want to thank everybody who has stepped up. December 12th is the last day for leaf collection, so don't be fooled by the snow on the ground, because I think, is that correct, everybody? I think it's December 12th, okay? So there's still time to get your snow out, your leaves out of there. I want to have a personal thank you to, this is just big hearts in the community. It's our businesses working with people. I want to personally thank Harry Thompson from Maloof's, which is, I'll put a plug in for him. Great place to shop for Christmas. Him and I sort of teamed up a little bit, and we came up with 50 turkeys and Shorewood Kiwanis, Lock St. Clair Kiwanis, St. Isaac Jogues, the Eagles Club, all sort of got some turkeys for the holidays. And I want to bring this up because I had a chance to visit St. Margaret's and their program that they have in there. Don't forget about these folks in January, February, and March when it's still cold outside, because they still need assistance. People got big hearts and they step up at Christmas time, but the problem still persists with homeless people and people that are down on their luck. So remember them also in the January, February, March months. I want to just sort of, I wanted to follow up, I guess, with Rob about, we talked about lighting the pier up a little bit. I was wondering how that was proceeding, because I'm just afraid that a boat will make contact out there in the summertime. It's just.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the quotes to come back, but we did put in to get those estimates.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. Okay. And thanks for being here. And lastly, not last, I just want to say one other thing. It looks great out there when people light up their Christmas lights on their houses and the businesses. And of course, John Karen has to steal the show there on Chelan. He's got a beautiful lit house, so it looks great, John. I wish I could do it that good.
It's amazing how many strings you can get into one outlet.
And the last thing I wanted to bring up is we lost a friend in the community, sort of a community treasure over the past week, Sam Hakem from Emily's Deli. I've known him a very long time, like a brother to me, and he's out of his pain now. There's one guy that made an impact on a lot of people's lives, and I would call him a community treasure, and most giving guy I think I've ever run into, or at least one of them, who would, you could ask him for anything, and he always came through. He might call you a few names along the way, but he always came through. And it's a big loss to the people that knew him, his friends, his family. His son is still, he's Sammy Jr., he's still at Emily's. Emily's will continue, but Emily's has been a part of our community since the 70s. Started by his, it's on third generation now, started by Sam's mother, continued through him, now down to his sons. And keep their family in your prayers. Truly did love St. Clair Shores and love the people, and he will be sorely missed. So that's all I have. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Ms. Rusi.
Thank you. First off, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Entering into the Christmas season now, one of my favorite times of the year. My nephew Logan is watching. I got a picture of him sent to me. He's watching the meeting while he's decorating his Christmas tree actually right now as we speak. So hello to Logan, decorating the tree. Got some neat things coming up. First off, Community Chorus, Sunday, December 7th, is presenting A Very, Very Merry Christmas up at Lakeshore High School Auditorium. It will be at the door $22 for adults, children 4 to 12, 10, 3 and under free. It's their annual holiday concert. It's always a really, really nice performance they give. We have a lot of talented people in this community, so come out on December 7th, 3 p.m., Lakeshore High School Auditorium to see the Community Chorus, A Very, Very Merry Christmas. It's always a really fun presentation. We saw the Goodfellows here earlier at the start of the meeting. Please give on Saturday if you can. Like they said, and this cannot be stressed enough, every dollar given and collected in St. Clair Shores stays in St. Clair Shores, helps St. Clair Shores families. So please give generously to help out our neighbors who might need it a little bit extra this year. They've been doing this for a long, long, long time, and I know one of them had said that you hear this a couple times every year, and I collect at Village Market in the lobby, so unlike the people on the street, the interactions with the donors are very, very quick because they're in constant motion with the traffic and all. I'll get people who will stop and talk to me about the organization as they're going in or out of Village Market to do their shopping. And every year I hear a couple of people come to me, senior citizens usually, who will come up and they still remember this, and they'll say, our family growing up only had a Christmas because of the Goodfellows, and they'll tell you these stories, and it's just the most heartwarming thing. This is something that meant so much to them that decades and decades and decades and decades later, they still remember what it meant to them and their family, and how grateful they still are for the help. So please remember that when you see the people collecting money, selling newspapers in the street or at the lobby of Village Market or wherever, and please help this wonderful organization continue the work they've been doing in the community and helping people have a really, really nice Christmas, not only with the food baskets, but also, like they said, gift cards up for the kids up to age 16, which for some of these families, this might be the only Christmas niceties they get, so please help them out. We also, the Christmas tree line coming up on Friday right here at City Hall. Last year, we did, the St. Clair Shores Lions donated some Beanie Babies. Remember how we all tossed them to the kids at the stage? It was so much fun. This year, we'll be doing that again. I have a lot of stuff for us to toss to the kids, so as a surprise. So if you come, make sure your kids gather not too far from the stage because I don't think we can throw that far, but we have some fun stuff to share with the kids this year too. That part was like my favorite last year. I love doing that. So we can do that again this year because I have, I got some more stuff to throw out. Let's see, Holly Jolly Trolley, like they said, Nautical Mile. Please, if you're going out with your friends, it's fun, but also bring your kids too. The kids love it, especially given it sounds like there's some Christmas activities going on this year and they get to see the lights. I took my nephew on the trolley this summer, and he just had a blast. He had a lot of fun just riding it. I mean, it was a nice little just way to get him out in the community, and it was free, and it was a fun activity for families. So don't forget to, if you have your kids out and you're thinking we're going to do this holiday season, please make that part of it and help support some of the local businesses, but just take them on a ride on it. They love it. It's such a fun little thing for them. My nephew he had a blast on it. And that was even before all the Christmas stuff. He just had fun riding it. So now it sounds like it'll be extra fun. Please bring the kids out for that. I'll follow up on some city issues with administration. And Bob, I forwarded you, again, some legal issues about contract interpretation. If you could look into that and just, I think we all would appreciate some guidance on that, given we've been receiving some questions from some people on the issue. So I forwarded you a few that especially had the legal contract, the interpretation aspect to it that I think some of your guidance would be appreciated. And that's it. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Karen.
Thank you. Yeah, speaking of Christmas lights, big thank you to Mary Percolas and Shores Capital in downtown. Went all out. And one thing, you can tell which buildings are hers. That is for sure. But basically did the Rochester treatment to all of her buildings downtown, and it looks fabulous down there. So big shout out to her and Shores Capital for everything they're doing with the downtown area. And with that, There is the Jingle Mingle, which I think this is their third year doing it down there. Basically, all special promotions for all the businesses in downtown that are participating throughout the day. It is not a social district. The street's not closed off, so but, head to downtown, support the local businesses this Saturday for the Jingle Mingle. A lot of great deals and promotions will be going on from all the businesses there. And one, outside of all, getting past Christmas season a bit, an announcement from Shorewood Kiwanis. So we're having the 37th annual Wild Game Dinner Thursday, February 5th at the Polo Century Club up at 14 Mile and Maple Lane. This is the Behind the Car Cruise, the next biggest fundraiser that the Shorewood Kiwanis does every year. And if you just hate vegetables, like you don't want a vegetable on your plate at all, like this is the dinner to go to. I think the one vegetable they had last year was coleslaw, and that was it. Everything else was meat. But it's a great event, a lot of different varieties, like probably 20 different types of wild game that they had, raffles and other fundraising activities will be going on that night. They're also looking for various sponsors. So if you can go to the Shorewood Kiwanis website, you can check that out. If you want tickets for the Wild Game Dinner on Thursday, February 5th, starting at 5:30 that night. The event is on Eventbrite, and you can search Shorewood Kiwanis on Eventbrite and be able to find the event there and pick out tickets at tables, buy whole tables, hopefully buy whole tables, to make a very successful event. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Frederick?
Thanks, Mayor. So on that Wild Game Dinner, Mike Boyle, I think, is the chairman.
He's
of
running
that.
it, yep.
Mike Boyle, 20 years ago, I think it was in September, I took his place up here. And he's an awesome guy, and I've been to that Wild Game Dinner, and it is a blast. And you're right about it's all meat. So, so anyway, the Goodfellows paper sale, Dave and I will be over on Masonic and Harper up in that area.
Yep.
We have an ongoing battle every year to see who can outdo each other, and one year we tied. That was crazy. So anyway, Harper and Masonic, we'll probably be there at, somewhere between 10 and noon, right in that time frame.
Yeah, but I've never won.
Well, all right, well, this year, you gotta go. You gotta tell people to come by, so. And I can't believe it's 99 years for those guys. That's incredible, absolutely incredible. And I'm gonna give you their helpline again, just in case you missed it, 586-980-044, I'm sorry, 0400. If you need help, they'll you gotta call by December 13th. Also, December 14th at 7 o'clock, and cascading in every time zone at 7 o'clock are the Compassionate Friends, which celebrates if you've lost a child. They'll have a service that will honor those kids. And it's at St. Margaret's and St. Clair Shores. And St. Margaret's, of course, is on 13 Mile between Harper and Little Mac. And speaking of St. Margaret's, I know we've talked about, Dave, you talked about McWarm, and they're in great need this year, right now, for gloves, boots, scarves, coats, jeans, and monetary donations. They're open to the homeless every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can drop your donations off there on those days, and it's just fabulous what they do. I know the mayor was there. Dave, you were there the day before. We were lucky. Channel 4 showed up while we were there. And next thing you know, they're talking to us, and somehow I think I got on, and my phone blew up, and I told everybody, hey, look, that's great that you saw me, but now make a donation. So,
Hey, and just shout out to the Lakers, because the Lakers were there handing we're handing out food, and it's great to get the young people involved there and to see how that operates and to give back to the community. So kudos to the St. Clair Shores Lakers for being there on the day before Thanksgiving. Both teams.
Boys and girls.
It was great.
And I know that we mentioned the tree lighting coming up this Friday. I want to thank the Optimist for once again providing donuts and hot chocolate. And I'm excited about the Holly Jolly Trolley. That should be a blast. And also my condolences to Sam Hakeem's family. Known him for a long time too. We'll still be able to get meat pies though, right?
Of course.
I think in his honor, we should all go get some meat pies. Also, I wanted to mention the Friends of the Library. They're doing a 20% food back sales over there at Red Robin. That's on Gratiot and Roseville, December 9th. December 9th. You just, and if you're ordering online, there's some other instructions you can do, but if you mention that you're there to help the Friends of St. Clair Shores Library, or go online and get a flyer, you can bring that in. 20% of the food sales go back to the Friends of the Library, who do a ton of stuff for us, by the way. And then, speaking of the library, just a couple of things. I know we're not open, but we're still doing stuff. A lot of people stopping by. So we still have openings for story time, which is right here in the council chambers. Tuesday evening story time is at 6:15 p.m. And Wednesday sessions are at 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. Register online or by calling the library. The Optimist Club Holiday Celebration, we just thank them for, doing all their stuff here with the hot chocolate, cookies, et cetera. But they're also doing a holiday celebration at the Selinsky Green Farmhouse Museum on Saturday, December 13th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Families can visit Santa, enjoy hot chocolate, cookies, and join a scavenger hunt right there and see the holiday petting zoo from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This free event is open to all. And then some of the upgrades that the Friends of the Library are responsible for, they want to thank them for funding upgrades to the adult programming room and a new self-checkout station, which I'm anxious to see. These enhancements will be installed after the renovation is complete. So I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and we'll all see you here before Christmas, but be safe in this holiday season, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Vitale.
Yeah, if you can bring mine up there. I'll mention a couple things here too. Dave's comments about McWarm, I was thinking to myself, I have some bags of blankets and things like that. And
Oh, yeah.
thought about bringing those down, but then I thought, I don't know, it seems like Christmas is really when they get a lot of that stuff. Maybe I should wait until after Christmas.
Just bring it. They got plenty of room for it.
I don't know. I got conflicting advice from council people here, but I
Bring it.
guess the point is that it gets there.
Bird in the hand.
I also wanted to thank two of our staff members, something that, the rest of you might not be aware of, but you should be aware of because, they're our city employees, and that is Liz Cutto and Denise Pike. I mentioned to Denise that I had a friend, and I was very clear up front that this person lived in Redford, Michigan, and that they're a senior citizen. Their home is in disrepair, their income somewhat limited, and I know we have programs like that here in the city, but, how do the programs work? What can you tell me that might overlay into Redford? Then I think Denise must have also reached out to Liz, because Liz, who wasn't even at work that day, actually sent me an email and said, hey, just so you know, I'm friends with the person over in Redford. This is their name, their contact info. I was able to pass all that information on to my friend, who, first thing Monday, he sent it, and I guess he heard something back already. Gave me a call later today that looks like he may qualify for some of these emergency funds. He was very upbeat for the first time, and so it was really great to hear that. And I think that you should know when our two staff members go above and beyond for that. So that was very nice and much appreciated, even though, I told the guy, I said, you can't even vote for me. You live in Redford, why should I help you? But no, he was very appreciative. So thank you for that.
Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Mayor stole my thunder a little bit with the library pictures. Hey, is that the first picture? Oh, I didn't know that was my first slide. No, not that one. Go back. You're on my last picture. Way back.
I got three from you.
There are three different slides relating to the library. They were in an order on purpose. Oh, well, I guess I'll take what I can get. Oh, okay. So this is one of the reasons, the additional monies that's being used, we're all kind of aware of this. I wanted to show off. I tried to circle it. There was at one time lighting in the library, and you can kind of see the marks from those fluorescent fixtures where they kind of scorched the ceiling there. We found that that was live wiring, so there were additional costs to remove all that, but obviously that was a good idea. What you can also see in next picture is, I'm hoping you can see, maybe go back to that first one, is the height difference that you're going to see in the library. If you can see, the walls are painted up to the blue, and then everything that goes up to white is the actual ceiling height of the library when it was built. And Chris Reyes sent me the original plans that actually the library goes back to the late 50s, the original library. So we'll now be restored to that original ceiling height because the drop ceiling has been pulled out. Next one now. And you can see some of that work there. We found a historical Budweiser can. That looks like, judging by the Budweiser can, it was from the 1971 edition, which I didn't realize, just about almost doubled the size of the library. That must have been a huge addition back in 71. And you can kind of get an idea, too, from how far down all those fire extinguisher heads are hanging. You know, that's where the old drop ceiling was. Go ahead to the next one. And that's basically just to let everybody know that the books, despite all the devastation that you saw in the other pictures, the books are essentially safe and sound. And that was all I had for tonight.
Thank you. Ms. Burgess.
Just a couple things. This Thursday is the gala for Angie's Toy Chest for the Toys for Tots, and it's going to be at Penna of Sterling. The cost is $100 plus a new toy, and they have tickets available also for their 2025 Kia K4 that they're going to be raffling off. Tickets are $50 each or 3 for $100, and they're only selling 1,200 of them, so good chance to be able to get a car there. So if you are interested, you can go on to Angie's Toy Chest Facebook page and click on there, and you can actually order your tickets there. So that is Thursday. This Thursday coming up, Pennas of Sterling Heights. And also wanted to talk about the tree lighting that's coming up here on Friday. And I'm very excited about it because the Waterfront Environmental is going to be having a craft table making letters to Santa Claus. And then we're going to deliver those letters that night directly to Santa Claus. So come out, get your letter written, and be able to hand it to Santa Claus. And so that's going to be happening inside here at City Hall. And I'm really excited that the Waterfront Environmental Committee has wanted to do that. Also, the Optimist Club is having their annual holiday celebration. It's Saturday, December 13th from 10 to 2 p.m. They'll host their annual celebration at the Selinsky's Greenhouse Farmhouse Museum. Come visit Santa in the parlor and capture their memory with a photo. Enjoy a cup of hot chocolate and cookies and a fun scavenger hunt for the kids. A petting zoo will be in the museum's courtyard from 10 to 1 as well. This event is free for both residents and non-residents. So, and of course, donations are always welcome. I am also excited about the upcoming Jingle or Holly Jolly Trolley. I enjoyed that trolley. We did it a few times this last year, and it was just fantastic. And I love the live Facebook feeds you were doing with all of us in there, and had a lot of fun. And it's a great thing, like Candace said, that bring your family. You know, you don't have to go to all the bars. It's going to be going through the Tunnel of Lights as well, so it'll be a great time. Also wanted to mention that as I was sitting here, a friend of mine who works at Meijer wants to donate those turkeys for the Goodfellows, so they don't have to go out and purchase them.
Oh, fantastic.
So she just texted me. She said, make sure that we get a count of how many they need, and they will be donated. They, in fact, just donated turkey breast for the veterans coming home, that the JYC did a fundraiser and we did turkey bowling. And it was really fun. We did that this last Saturday. And Myers also had donated those turkey breasts, and they went to the veterans coming home. So really excited that my friend works there and she can get all this stuff done. And so that's all I have.
Thank you. Item 10 is city manager's report.
No report.
Item 11 is audience participation. Do we have anyone who would like to speak? You have 5 minutes to, we need your name and the city you reside in, ma'am, that's it. And then pull that mic down, please.
Yeah, I'm short. Hi, I'm Alicia Secord. I live in St. Clair Shores. My son Dylan over there is a Life Scout, and he's here because he's doing his Citizenship in Community badge. And he's going to be doing that at Purdue University this weekend, which is really exciting. And I was hoping that I could get a photo of him with you guys to send to his counselor. Can we spend my 5 minutes doing that?
Ma'am, we're going to be done in one moment. If you wait one more
Absolutely.
minute, I'll breeze right through unless we.
Absolutely.
Trader Todd over here's got a lot to say. We're going to move right over to Mayor's comment. He's not anything to say. We'll give you one minute. We'll have you.
Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations on that, though. Fantastic. Way to go, Dylan. With that, Mayor's comments, just remember, we got the gala coming up. I think we're supposed to get a video. We don't have the video. We'll have the next video, I guess, at the next council meeting. Is that right, Matt?
We'll have it right now, sir.
Okay. There we go.
Bear with me just a moment.
Yes, thank you. Bring it back. So it's 75 years, starting on January 15th of 2026. The gala is January 17th, 2026. It'll be held over at Barrister Gardens. We're going to have a lovely dinner, dancing, a live band, drinks. It is $100. We'll have a valet. Great show. We just thought we'd kind of give you a quick promo. Thank you, Matt.
Amazing City at the Diamond Jubilee Anniversary Celebration. Join us on Saturday, January 17th at Barrister Gardens from 6 to 11 p.m. for an unforgettable evening filled with dinner, drinks, desserts, dancing, and live music from the Blue Water Kings Band. Tickets are $100 each and can be purchased in person at the Parks and Rec office or online at scsmi.net/Jubilee. We can't wait to celebrate this milestone with you. See you there.
It's going to be the MC. We do have a little merch that we'll be giving out part of the ticket. It will be the kickoff of 75 years of St. Clair Shores. So we have a number of events that we'll be doing throughout the year, but this will kick it off January 17th. So I hope we get many people to join us and do that. I don't know if I missed something. Yes, Mr. Vitale.
Oh, you missed a little something.
Thank
and that
you.
was that the tickets are $100.
Yep.
But the costs, the money raised over and above.
Yep, we're looking to charities, trying to give it back to two
We're
charities.
going to give that back to some St. Clair Shores-based charities.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows that.
Yeah, it is, right, and this is, the amount, the $100 is, there's no city tax dollars, it's all going in here, and, the goal was here to either try to break even, and if we did have a little bit of extra, we're gonna give it away to
Exactly,
charity.
not
So,
trying to
absolutely.
make a
Thank you for-
profit, and
That's
whatever
correct.
we do make over and above goes to charity.
Thank you for pointing that out, I appreciate it, I'm glad, I know I always miss something. So with that, we'll go into closed session, and we'll grab you. So a request to meet in closed session is permitted by state statute MCLA 15268, section 8E, regarding Dimitri Stathis versus City of St. Clair Shores and George Felonio versus City of St. Clair Shores.
So moved. Support.
Moved by Ms. Rusi, supported by Mr. Karen to go into closed session. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Rusi?
Aye.
Councilmember John Karen?
Aye.
Councilmember Burgess?
Aye.
Councilmember Frederick?
Aye.
Councilmember Rubello?
Aye.
Councilmember Vitale?
Aye.
And Mayor Walby?
Aye. Good night.